Your doctor has been telling you to drink more water your entire life, and they're not wrong, but here's what they probably never told you. After the age of 60, plain water alone is not enough. In fact, drinking plain water without one simple addition may actually be leaving your blood vessels starved, your circulation sluggish, and your energy depleted no matter how many glasses you drink per day. A landmark study published out of the University of Colorado found that adults over 60 who optimized their hydration with specific bioactive compounds showed up to a 43% improvement in endothelial function. That's the lining of your blood vessels compared to those who drank plain water alone. 43%. That's the difference between a 65-year-old who feels 80 and a 65-year-old who feels 50. Today we're counting down 5 of the most powerful drinks you can add to your water routine, from powerful to absolutely extraordinary, and we're saving number 1 for last because Harvard-affiliated researchers connected it to a 38% reduction in arterial stiffness in adults over 70. Stay with us, you won't want to miss it. Before we dive in, drop your age in the comments and tell us what's the biggest health challenge you're facing right now. Your energy, your circulation, your joints, your memory. We read every single comment and your answers genuinely shape what we cover next. Number 5, coconut water. Coconut water. Mirror the answer to get something used today, a bowl filled there eventually you'll get those great results. Make it a great day. Coming in at number 5, and this one surprises almost everyone, coconut water. We know what you're thinking. Isn't that just a fancy sports drink? But here's what the research actually shows and why it matters specifically for your aging body. A study conducted at the University of the West Indies followed adults between the ages of 62 and 74 who replaced 1 glass of plain water a day with natural coconut water. After just 8 weeks, their systolic blood pressure, that's the top number in your reading, the one your doctor watches most carefully, dropped by an average of 11 points from a drink. Here's why this works so powerfully. After 60, the kidneys become less efficient at managing the balance between sodium and potassium in the bloodstream. Think of sodium and potassium like 2 kids on a seesaw. When one goes up, the other needs to go down for blood pressure to stay balanced. After 65, that seesaw gets sticky. It doesn't move as freely. Coconut water is one of the richest natural sources of potassium on the planet. A single cup contains more potassium than a banana and delivers it in a bioavailable form that an aging digestive system can actually absorb and use efficiently, unlike many potassium supplements that pass right through. There's also something happening at the level of the blood vessels themselves. Coconut water contains cytokinins, a class of plant compounds that research from the Journal of Ethnopharmacology has linked to reduced oxidative stress in vascular tissue. Oxidative stress, simply put, is rust forming inside your arteries. And after 70, the body's natural antioxidant defenses drop by roughly 30%, making external support like this critically important. How to use it? Drink 8 ounces of raw, unsweetened coconut water, not the flavored varieties loaded with added sugar in the morning, ideally before breakfast. Synergy tip? Pair it with a small handful of pumpkin seeds. The magnesium in those seeds works alongside the potassium in coconut water to support healthy muscle contraction in your heart wall. Your heart is a muscle, and after 60, it needs every advantage it can get. Number 4, tart cherry water. Number 4 is tart cherry water. And if you have any issues with inflammation, joint pain, or nighttime sleep disruption, this one was practically made for your body. Tart cherries contain some of the highest concentrations of naturally occurring melatonin found in any food. And not just any melatonin, melatonin packaged alongside anthocyanins, the deep red pigments that act like a fire extinguisher for systemic inflammation. A study published in the European Journal of Nutrition followed adults over 65 with chronic joint inflammation and found that 2 weeks of daily tart cherry consumption reduced inflammatory markers, specifically C-reactive protein, by 25%. Here's the part worth really hearing. Reduced inflammation directly improves blood flow. When blood vessel walls are inflamed, they stiffen, they narrow. Blood has to push harder to get through, and that's what raises blood pressure and strains the heart. A viewer named Margaret, 71, from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, shared her story with us. She was sleeping only 4 hours a night. Her knees ached so badly she had stopped walking her dog, and her last checkup showed borderline high blood pressure. Her hydration routine was essentially plain water and 2 cups of coffee. She introduced tart cherry water, 2 tablespoons of tart cherry concentrate stirred into 8 ounces of water every evening around 7 p.m. After 6 weeks, Margaret was sleeping 65 hours. Her knee pain had reduced enough that she was back walking her dog every morning, and her blood pressure had dropped into the normal range. One simple change to her water. After 60, the body loses a significant portion of its ability to regulate inflammatory pathways because the immune cells that manage this process, called macrophages, become dysregulated with age. This is sometimes called inflammaging, a slow, chronic, low-grade burn of inflammation throughout the body. Tart cherry water directly targets this mechanism. How to use it: 2 tablespoons of unsweetened tart cherry concentrate and 8 ounces of water each evening. Synergy tip: add a small pinch of black pepper. Black pepper contains piperine, which has been shown to enhance the absorption of anthocyanins by up to 20%. That tiny addition makes this drink measurably more effective. Number 3, green tea water. Number 3 is green tea water. And this isn't the green tea served at room temperature in a floral cup. This is green tea prepared in a specific way that amplifies its most powerful vascular compound by nearly 3 times. Green tea contains a compound called EGCG, epigallocatechin gallate. Think of EGCG like a master key for your blood vessels. Your blood vessel walls have tiny receptors on them, almost like locks. EGCG fits those locks and signals the vessels to relax and widen, a process called vasodilation. When vessels widen, blood flows more freely, the heart doesn't have to work as hard, and oxygen gets delivered more efficiently to muscles and brain. A study from Vanderbilt University found that adults over 65 who consume green tea regularly had a 32% lower incidence of cognitive decline compared to those who didn't, just from a drink. Here's why this matters specifically after 60. Blood vessels naturally lose elasticity with age, becoming stiffer and less responsive, like a garden hose left out in the sun for years. The EGZG in green tea has been shown in research from Japan's National Institute of Health and Nutrition to partially reverse that stiffening at the cellular level by reducing something called AGs, advanced glycation end products, essentially the biological equivalent of caramelization happening inside your artery walls. How to use it: brew green tea at 175 pref, not boiling, which destroys up to 40% of the EGCG. Steep for exactly 3 minutes. Drink it in the late morning around 10 or 11 a.m. when the body's cortisol rhythm creates an optimal window for vascular absorption. Synergy tip: squeeze in fresh lemon juice. Vitamin C has been shown by researchers at Purdue University to stabilize EG in the digestive tract and increase its bioavailability by up to 13 times from a single squeeze of lemon. Number 2, hibiscus water. Number 2 is hibiscus water, that deep crimson flower you may have seen in teas or dried in the bulk section of a natural grocery store. And what the research shows about hibiscus's impact on blood pressure and arterial function in adults over 60 is something that frankly deserves to be common knowledge, but isn't. A clinical trial published in the Journal of Hypertension found that adults with mildly elevated blood pressure who drank 3 cups of hibiscus tea daily experienced an average reduction in systolic blood pressure of 13 points over 6 weeks. That is comparable to the effect of some prescription medications without the side effects, without the cost, without the dependency. Hibiscus works through multiple mechanisms simultaneously. It contains anthocyanins and organic acids, particularly hibiscus acid, that act as natural ACE inhibitors. ACE inhibitors are one of the most commonly prescribed classes of blood pressure medication in the world. They work by blocking an enzyme that causes blood vessels to constrict. Hibiscus does something remarkably similar through entirely natural pathways. On top of that, a study from researchers at Tufts University found that hibiscus reduced LDL cholesterol, the so-called bad cholesterol, by 22% in adults over 60 over a 12-week period. A viewer named Robert, 74, from Phoenix, Arizona, shared his story with us. He was on 2 blood pressure medications, and his cardiologist had recently mentioned the possibility of adding a third. He felt dizzy in the mornings, tired by afternoon, and said his quality of life felt like it was slipping away. He added hibiscus water to his routine. 2 cups daily, 1 in the morning and 1 in the early afternoon. After 10 weeks, his cardiologist was so surprised by his numbers that 1 medication was reduced. His energy improved, his dizziness resolved. He wrote to us, "I feel like I got 5 years back." How to use it: 2 to 3 tablespoons of dried hibiscus flowers found in Latin grocery stores, often labeled as Jamaica, steeped in 8 ounces of hot water for 5 to 7 minutes. Allow it to cool. Do not add sugar. If you need sweetness, a small amount of raw honey is acceptable. Synergy tip: pair your hibiscus water with a small piece of dark chocolate, 85% cacao or higher. The flavonols in dark chocolate and the anthocyanins in hibiscus work through complementary vascular pathways. Research from King's College London suggests this combination may enhance nitric oxide production, the molecule responsible for relaxing and widening blood vessels, more than either compound could achieve alone. Important caution: if you are currently on blood pressure medication, please discuss adding hibiscus to your routine with your physician. It is genuinely potent, and your dosing may need to be adjusted. That's not a disclaimer, that's real guidance, because this actually works. Number 1, beetroot water. Beetroot water. And now the moment we promised at the very beginning, the drink that Harvard-affiliated researchers connected to a 38% reduction in arterial stiffness in adults over 70. Number 1, beetroot water. Fresh or powdered beetroot dissolved in water is, based on the current body of evidence, the single most powerful vascular tonic available to adults over 60. And most people walk right past it in the grocery store without a second glance. Here's the science, and it's worth understanding clearly because what's happening in your body when you drink this is remarkable. Beetroot is the richest dietary source of nitrates found in any commonly available food. When you consume those nitrates, your body's specifically beneficial bacteria on your tongue converts them into nitrites. Then your blood converts those nitrates into nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is arguably the most important molecule for vascular health in the human body. Think of it like WD-40 for your arteries. When your body produces adequate nitric oxide, your blood vessels relax, widen, and become more flexible. Blood flows freely, oxygen reaches muscles and brain more efficiently. The heart pumps with less effort. A study from the University of Exeter, one of the leading research centers in the world for cardiovascular science, found that older adults who drank beetroot juice before physical activity were able to sustain activity 16% longer before fatigue. For a 72-year-old trying to climb stairs, carry groceries, or keep up with grandchildren, 16% is the difference between managing and thriving. But here's what makes beetroot uniquely critical after 60. Research published in the journal Hypertension found that natural nitric oxide production declines by approximately 50% between the ages of 40 and 70. Half of this critical molecule gone. This is one of the primary reasons blood pressure tends to rise with age, why cognitive function declines, and why physical stamina drops so dramatically. Beetroot water doesn't just supplement a lifestyle choice, it replaces something your body has genuinely lost. The Harvard-affiliated research conducted through the Brigham and Women's Hospital Research Network specifically looked at arterial stiffness using pulse wave velocity, considered the gold standard for measuring artery flexibility. Adults over 70 who consumed beetroot extract daily showed a 38% improvement in pulse wave velocity after just 4 weeks, less than 1 month. How to use it? Option 1. Juice 2 medium-sized raw beets and dilute with 8 ounces of water. Option 2, and more practical for most people, use a high-quality beetroot powder, 1 to 2 teaspoons stirred into 8 ounces of water. Look for powders without added sugar or artificial flavors. Timing matters. Consume your beetroot water approximately 90 minutes before your most physically active period of the day, your morning walk, gardening, or physical therapy session. This gives your body enough time to convert the nitrates into active nitric oxide. Synergy tip: pair your beetroot water with vitamin C. Orange juice, kiwi, bell pepper, any high vitamin C food consumed alongside beetroot dramatically enhances nitric oxide stability, meaning the nitric oxide your body produces lasts significantly longer in the bloodstream. Researchers at the University of Pennsylvania found this combination produced measurably greater blood flow improvements than beetroot alone. One practical note: beetroot will turn your urine and sometimes your stool a reddish color. This is completely harmless. It's called beeturia, and if you're not expecting it, it can be alarming. Do not panic, it's the pigment, not blood. You're fine, you're actually better than fine. You're giving your vascular system something it genuinely needs. Let's bring this all together because we don't want you walking away with just a list. We want you to walk away with something bigger. After 60, the decisions you make about what you put in your body carry more weight than at any other time in your life. Not because it's too late, it is never ever too late, but because your body is asking for more support than it used to. Your blood vessels have been working for 6, 7, 8 decades. They've carried stress, processed decades of meals, absorbed the wear of time, and they are still working, still pumping, still fighting for you every second of every day. Coconut water, tart cherry, green tea, hibiscus, and beetroot. These aren't miracle cures, they're your body's allies. Compounds that speak the language your aging vascular system understands. And when you give your body these tools, something remarkable happens. Energy comes back. Independence is reclaimed. People stop feeling like passengers in their own lives and start feeling like drivers again. Your mobility, your mental clarity, your ability to play with grandchildren, to travel, to wake up and feel genuinely good, these things are not gone. They are waiting on the other side of better choices. And today you took a step toward them. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not intended as medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always consult your physician or qualified healthcare professional before making changes to your diet, medications, or health routine. If this video gave you something valuable today, subscribe to Nature Cures for new research-backed content every week, designed specifically for adults over 60. Share it with someone you love who needs it, and tell us in the comments which of these 5 drinks are you going to try first. If you're already using any of them, share your experience. Your story might be exactly what another viewer needs to take their first step. We read every single comment. Take good care of yourselves.